World War II was more than welcome to come into Europe.
No, we weren't welcome. No, the British Expeditionary Force found out that it was not welcome. Hence, you had Dunkirk.
No, I don't think that's quite right, Tommy.
I'm sorry, but that is exactly right. Your trouble is... When did you do your history, Desmond? Let's
done
just
my
compare...
history
Yes?
in a school in Aylesbury about 11 years ago.
A school in Aylesbury, right.
What
you need then, what you weren't taught, and you would have been taught if I'd taught you, is a little bit of precision, pal.
Okay, go on.
Okay?
Yeah, go on, Tommy. It's a great show, mate, go on.
Yeah. When the British Army entered the continent of Europe in 1939, they discovered that they were not welcome.
Okay.
Now, what you're trying to say is that for eternity, as a result of playing their part in the Second World War,
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
As did the French.
Okay.
As did the Belgians.
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
As did the Dutch.
Right.
As did the Italian resistance.
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
As did the millions of Germans who were imprisoned by Hitler.
Yeah.
Because they disagreed with his politics.
Yeah. Okay.
As did the Russians.
Go on, Tommy. Yeah, go on.
Who lost far more people.
That is not true. Tommy, this is a great show, but ask me,
shut it and listen. Shut it because I'm finding you very, very offensive.
All right, go on.
Very, very offensive man. Very offensive man. As did the Russians.
Yeah.
Okay, who lost far more people than Great Britain.
Okay.
You said that's not true, but do you know what the losses were?
No, I didn't say that was not true at all.
Yes, you did. You went, that's not true, Tommy.
I'm trying to make it to you.
You said that's not true, Tommy. You said that's not true. That's not true, Tommy.
Whenever there is a sporting event on in Europe, we are not allowed to go.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true again. Say something that's true.
Okay.
That's not true.
I will say something that is true.
20 football hooligans, convicted football hooligans, have been prevented from going to a place where they like to cause trouble, and you've got a problem with that.
I haven't.
Now, the British have done that, not the French, the British. We have decided that those football hooligans shall not be allowed to go to a place where they like to cause trouble, and you've got a problem with that.
I haven't, Tommy, no. What I'm saying to you is, whenever there's a war in Europe, English people are the first there. As soon as there's a football match, no, you go home, English, we don't want you.
Are you trying to be thick?
No, I love your show, Tommy, but I'm just telling you the truth, Tommy. That's what I'm telling you.
No, but how old are you?
I am not quite as old as you. I am 29 years of age.
And have you got the vote? Can I ask you this? Because I'm always on about how terrible democracy is because it allows anybody to vote. Can I just ask if you've ever voted?
I think Tony Blair is a tremendous man. I really do.
You vote Labour, do you?
I vote Blair. Blair is a tremendous man.
Nah, good try, but you haven't got me. Nice try.
Myself, but...
I remember when I was very small and at school, one day I was asked by the teacher to get the Bible and take it and sit down with it. She didn't say why.
No.
And I remember to this day going and getting the class Bible from the bookshelf behind her and walking back to my desk with nothing but fear and trepidation as I carried this thing that I had been force-fed to believe was some kind of conduit directly into the heart of God. It would enable me to somehow see into heaven and... anyway, I was terrified of dropping it.
Yeah.
Because nobody told me this, but somehow I'd got the impression that if I dropped the Bible, then I would go to hell.
Oh, God.
And there was a black bound Bible with an embossed front and with that red edging to the pages that they all have. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I sat down with it and I didn't drop it. I'll still probably go to hell if there is one, for other reasons. But the point I'm making is that it always seems to me that when you begin to have a discussion with anybody who is very clear and certain about their religion, and it is Christianity, very early on, they will confound your first sort of gentle, sensible, questioning argument with, but the Bible says.
I know. My God.
And this means there is no room for discussion here. There is no room for creative thought. There is no room for free thought. The Bible says.
I know.
And they think that you will go, oh, God, does it all in that case?
I'll go and join you.
All in that case, if the Bible says.
Yeah.
So it seems to me that the crucial difference between the people you're talking about and that I have in my mind as well, and I won't call them Christians because there are fine Christians, great Christians, no question about that, and us, is this absolute certainty that the Bible is a cross between a sort of a maintenance manual and a rule book.
Yeah, it's
in
Sade.
East Ham in London. Hello, Sade.
Hello, how are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine. I just called. I'm not going to overreact or anything. Hello?
Hello.
Okay, I'm not going to overreact or anything. But what I'm just going to say is that, I'm like 18 and I'm going to be 19 in a few days.
That's how it works.
And I'm going to be 19 in a few days, just to say that I'm just as young as the other boy. And what I'm trying to say is that I don't feel like I have to apologize for what I believe in. And I don't feel that I have to apologize for believing that Jesus or God is in charge of my life. I don't do that. But I just want people to see that I'm happy in my life and I want to share it with you. I'm not trying to force it on you. If you don't want to believe it, don't accept it. Just say, I don't want it. And you can go. I am not going to force you to believe in what I believe in.
Don't come round and knock on my door and tell
I
me
wouldn't. I wouldn't.
No, but,
knock on people's doors.
hang on. But people who are connected with the thing that you like.
Yeah.
I mean.
The thing that I live.
Well, yeah. This is presumably some form of Christianity.
Pentecostal Christianity.
I have no idea what that means, but I'm sure
okay.
you're very clear about the distinction there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, people who are connected with your religion come and knock on my door and tell me that I really ought to, wake up.
And you will go to hell. I mean, I have to say.
Yeah. And people ring this show and tell me that I'm going to go to hell.
I mean, I have to say, in every religious belief, there are extremes. I mean, we say it in Islamic religion.
Not in atheism, there isn't.
Oh, okay. Atheism. I don't know if that's a religion. I don't know what that is. I mean, you don't believe in God. You don't believe there is a God. That's fine. I'm not going to try.
I don't think it would be fair for you to tell an atheist what he believes.
No, I
wouldn't tell you what you believe, because you know what you believe, don't you? So it's no good you saying, well, this is what an atheist believes.
Okay, as a Christian, you assume that I believe in God.
No.
Right?
No, I don't know.
Okay, fine. As a Christian, what do Christians believe in?
I have no idea.
Okay, well then.
And I'm not particularly interested either, actually.
Okay, fine. You don't. Okay, you're not interested. That's fine.
No. I mean, you're ringing this program to say that you're not one of these people who goes on about religion.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying that I feel that it's unfair for somebody who comes on the show who says he doesn't believe in God. He doesn't believe that people should force their beliefs on people about God, and that this guy was chatting a whole load of crap to him. I know that there are people who hand you out leaflets every day about different things. You don't have to take it in. Just take in what you believe. You don't have to rubbish it.
To be fair.
Wait, can I just finish what I'm saying?
Well, no, because we've got the gist.
Please let me finish what I was saying.
To be fair, atheists don't come and try and convert you, do they?
No, but no. I don't really.
Don't you think that would be fair?
Okay, fine, but I don't really see a temple made for atheists, do I?
No, exactly.
If there was a temple for atheists,
why do you need a temple?
If atheism is classed as a religious belief, then your argument about this, it suits my Christianity belief. But I don't think atheism and Christianity can be compared because atheism is not classed as a religion.
Who does the classing?
Okay, you can say who does the classing.
I did, and I'm very, very interested in hearing your answer to that.
Now you're being abstract about it. That's not being factual.
No, I am asking you the question. Who classes it? You said that it's not. You said it's not classed.
Society.
What is society?
Oh, so you're gonna. Okay, does the Earth exist? Don't ask me questions that you know already happen. The world is round. Is that fact or fiction? There is religion. Is that fact or fiction? It is fact. Atheism is fact.
Well,
but it's not a religion.
I'm sorry. All I can say is that I envy your shallow certainty.
Oh, please, you're shallow. Oh, no, I'm not going to say you're shallow. I am not going to rubbish you like you're trying to rubbish me. That is shallow. That is shallow, okay? It is shallow for you to try and lower my beliefs.
No, wait a minute.
And rubbish my beliefs on air. That is not fair. I have not rubbished anything you have said, so please do not call me
Well,
shallow.
no, that isn't true. That isn't true.
When did I rubbish what you said?
You rubbished atheism.
When did I rubbish atheism?
Well, let's go back, shall we? Would you like to try and answer some? Would you like to try and answer some questions?
Of course.
Okay. First question. Okay. Why isn't atheism a religion?
Because society does not class it as one.
Now, is that a good answer?
Yes, it is. It's a perfectly good answer. Society does many things. Let's say paedophilia. Is it right or wrong? Society classes it as wrong. It is morally wrong.
Yes. Okay. So you're prepared to accept everything that society says?
Well, you disagree with society sometimes, I must say.
Right.
But in the terms of religion,
all right. Now let me ask you. All right.
It's not something society argues about. It's something everybody agrees with.
All right.
There is religion.
Okay. So you're prepared to bow down and accept the views, generally speaking, of society?
Yes, of course I am.
Did you know that there are far more atheists than there are Christians in this thing that you call
society? I didn't know that. To be quite frank, I didn't know that.
Did you know that?
But how did you know that?
Well, how did I know that? Well, because they do surveys.
Okay. Where did you get this survey from, please?
The survey was in a newspaper which... Well, let's put it this way.
Okay.
What percentage
I
of
don't believe you because you didn't give me any facts. But go on anyway.
Okay.
I'll take on what you
How
said.
many people go to church on a Sunday?
4% of British people go to church.
Say that again.
4% of
Now,
British
does that sound
people.
to you like a minority?
32% of the world's population.
Does that sound to you like a minority?
It does sound to me like a minority,
So,
yes.
in society, okay, atheism is more accepted than Christianity.
So how do you know
Now,
that?
can I just start? Well, because
Okay.
you verified it yourself with information.
Okay.
Right. So let me get this clear. Society then, all right, supports the view, all right, that there is no God by majority.
How do you know this?
Well, because you've told me.
I didn't tell you. I said
told me that-
32% of the world are Christian. There is also the other religions.
Yes.
There is also Islam.
But you agree-
There's a large percentage
Yes.
of people who are Islamic in this world
Yes.
who also believe in God. So you can't tell me what percentage of the world are Islamic.
Right, no. But you're talking about this country's society or the world?
Okay. Society, I would say, in terms of religion, would be the world.
Okay. How many people are Confucian compared to Christian?
Pardon? I'm really sorry. What did you say?
Confucian.
I'm sorry, I don't know what that means.
No. Okay, you've got a lot of work to do,
Okay.
and I hope you try and do it. There's a wonderful world out there, and there's lots of things you've never even heard of.
Okay.
I
I
know-
don't understand that word. There's loads of words that I don't understand.
No, well,
Maybe you should try and tell me what it means.
Sure.
I will learn. I'm
I will
so
tell you.
young.
Well, shut
I will
up.
have
All right.
to learn.
All right. Well, shut up, and I'll tell you.
Oh, don't shut me up. That's not fair.
No, it's just that you're rabbiting on, and we got the news to do.
Okay, fine.
Confucianism is far and away the biggest religion on earth.
Okay.
Okay? So again, if you're talking in global terms, the world has rejected your religion, Christianity. Society, okay, which is the tenet by which
So, you should just give up. That's your idea. If
No,
the going gets tough,
no,
just
no,
give
no,
up.
no, Petal, no. Look, I envy you. I wish I believed like you do. It must be fantastic.
It is fantastic.
Yes, well, good luck to you. On the other hand,
Good luck to you too.
I was there when I was much smaller.
Well, you know,
And can
I'm
I tell you
here now.
what's even more fantastic?
What?
Right, is being in control.
Oh, why aren't I in control?
God is.
Oh, please. So you think that because I believe in God, somehow I don't have some choices in my life?
Correct. I've got to go because we've got the news. I enjoyed talking to you. I do envy people like that, don't you? This is Talksport.
The point is
Yes?
about the carnivals around the country.
Ah, fantastic.
Okay, I live in Luton. The Luton Carnival is about 20 times smaller than the Notting Hill Carnival,
True enough.
but it's still the second biggest in England. And it's very intimidating.
Intimidating?
Yeah,
What, the Luton Carnival?
yeah,
Intimidating?
yeah.
In what way?
Well, you get a lot of people come from London up to Luton, because it's only 20 minutes on the train.
My God.
Yeah.
Londoners.
Well, it's not saying Luton are sort of purposeful, I think,
In
right?
Luton.
Yeah, well, it's only 20 minutes. You get a lot of...
08700 40 50 60. We'll go straight back to taking calls live, on screen, at random. Line 4, it's your turn. Hi.
Thank you, Tommy.
Very Bollywood, very Bollywood. Let's go to line 5 and see who's there. Line 5, you're live on Talksport. Hello.
Hello, Tommy.
Hi.
My name is Elizabeth. I live in Reigate. There has been a lot of concern recently about mothers who have given their children up for adoption and then endeavoured to re-establish contact with the child. But what about the grandparents who have not only lost contact with their grandchildren through no choice of their own, but have no legal rights to retain contact? Their feelings of loss and grief are worse in that the bonding process has taken place, and by being cut off from their meaningful and precious relationship, they will be feeling emotionally deprived. I am sure that if the child was asked by their parents if they would like to see their grandparents, they would say a big yes. This is why the parents are 100% in the wrong for making the decision for the child. They could rebel in later life when they try to find their roots. Children are very inquisitive. I don't think parents realise what they're doing. Grandparents are part of the child's growing up and will always have a unique bond that should not be denied them. There are thousands of grandchildren and grandparents suffering in silence with this great injustice. It should be highlighted in the hope it will stir some action in the realms of government to motivate them to help us. Just think of all those dear children not knowing and being denied their grandparents. All grandparents should see their grandchildren before they die. And I would like to pose a question. When will there be legal rights for grandchildren and grandparents to have contact, irrespective of the age of the child, when the grandparents last had contact with their grandchildren? 60,000 grandparents a year apply to the court for permission for a contact order. 60,000 grandparents. How many children is there around?
It's all very depressing, really.
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Oh, well, hang on. That was beautifully read, if I may say so.
Oh, thank you, Tommy.
How long did it take you to write it?
Oh, I don't know. You know, I've been trying to get through all evening, really, you know.
Yeah.
And I know
This is what's happened to you, is it?
Well, yes, it is. And I feel...
It always interests me this. When something happens to me that I don't like, I find myself thinking that it's much more important than it was before it had happened to me.
No, I've always...
Hang on, I haven't finished.
Sorry.
And then I wonder to myself whether, because something's happened to me, I ought to say to myself, well, let's just step back before I start making it something that I want to bother other people with, and try to balance how I thought about it before, which was probably not a lot. Compared to... I haven't finished yet. Will you be quiet and listen? Yes. You must do that.
Yes.
Because I listened to you reading out...
You did.
Did you write it out longhand or on a typewriter?
Longhand,
right,
actually.
Yeah. Okay, it's beautifully read.
Thank you.
Not at all. Where did I get to before you interrupted? I can't remember now.
If it happens...
You mustn't interrupt people.
Sorry.
I never do it. Never have done, never will. Try to work out whether I was closer to an accurate perspective on whatever it is before it affected me than I become when a thing has affected me.
Yes, but I am talking for thousands of grandparents.
Yeah, now, will you just... I haven't finished yet.
Okay.
That's okay. If it hadn't happened to you,
I would have still done it.
No, you wouldn't.
I would.
No, you wouldn't.
I
no,
would.
you spoilt it now. You spoilt it
No,
now.
sorry.
Don't
I
you
would.
argue with me.
I would
Don't
carry
you
on.
argue with me, because there are much worse things than this
Yes.
happening in the world today, and I know about them, all right? Because I've seen them, but I don't bang on about them because I've got them in perspective. Now, what I'm telling you is this. A crusade always has vastly more impact if it's brought to our attention and explained to us by people who have a neutral perspective, which you don't.
Well, as I said, there's thousands of grandparents suffering.
I know all that, and you've told us all
Yeah.
that because you wrote it down and you read it out.
Yep.
And that's cool.
But don't you think all grandparents should see their grandchildren?
No, I'm on about the business of what people choose to tell people on the radio.
Yes, well, I'm telling you about this. It's an enormous situation out here.
Oh, well, it is, but I have to say to you that I think that when you consider the emotions of parents and the emotions of children, all right, that amounts to a very big stack of beans.
Yes, but children...
Now, can I finish?
Yes.
No, I think I won't bother, actually, because I don't think you're all that good at having a conversation
Yes,
about
I
this.
am.
Well, you're not really responding to what I'm
Okay.
saying. I don't think you even really know where I'm planting my feet each time I put them down in a piece of this territory. At the moment, what I'm saying is that, frankly, I think the considerations and the demands of the parents are so great. I'm going to say this. Most grandparents would care most about the needs of their own children, so much so that they would be prepared to move into the background rather than voice their own needs.
Yes. You know, until you're a grandparent...
That's how I would be. Definitely.
But
Definitely.
but if you're in a position, and you could be in years to come, if this is... because this...
I don't play this game. This game never works with me. This
No,
is what,
I'm not saying...
This what if it was you bit, or... You know what I really hate is when people go, what if it was your child? Which I hate.
Yes, but you might think different on this score, Tommy, when you become a grandparent
No,
yourself.
I wouldn't. No, definitely not. No, definitely not. Definitely not. It sounds to me as though you're trying to actually create a conduit between yourself and your grandchild, and I haven't heard too much in what you've had to say, for me personally, about your own child in this. Because there's a child of yours in this, isn't there?
Yes, there is a child of mine,
Okay,
yes,
and-
but he has been manipulated by his wife.
Well, I'm not going to get into any of the ins and outs of it,
No,
but I think
fine.
that next time you go campaigning on this one, all right, I think you should make it absolutely clear how much you love your own child.
I do, and I want...
I know, but that didn't enter into your little
no, because
piece.
I was talking about grandchildren.
I know you
because
were.
they can't talk for themselves.
Yes, they
Can
can. Of course they can.
The youngsters are too young.
Well,
they don't
what age? What age
understand.
is this we're talking about here?
We're talking about under fives.
Well, they can talk.
Yes.
I talk to under fives, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Right.
But
So-
they're not being asked, would you like to see your grandparents? And I'm sure they would say yes, Tommy.
Yeah, well, I tell you, mate, I work with children. I'm a professional, okay? It's what my life has been dedicated to working with children in every capacity. And all I will tell you is that any child will say yes to anything you ask, would you like to do this? You said, child, would you like to go to the top of this NCP and we'll all jump off and see who hits the ground first? They'll all go, oh, yes! So you've got to... No, wait.
Okay.
You've got to be very careful when you're asking children. You've got to be very careful when you're saying you know what the answer is going to be, because then you've got your question. Now, what you have to do is stand back, I think, and take an objective look at the whole scenario. And that's why I was just interested to hear at what point during your little piece that you'd written out, you wanted to come on to your child. And
Yes,
you didn't.
I'd love to see my child as well, but I'd like to see my grandchildren before I die. I think it's a thing that all grandparents, because we relive our grandchildren through our own children.
What are you going Well, I don't know about that.
Um,
What are you going to... What's going to happen between you and your grandchild?
I don't know that. This is,
I mean, I understand totally the curiosity and the inquisitiveness that
Yes.
you have about them. What do they look like?
Oh,
Which of your sisters do they
That's right.
take after?
Yes.
But is that as important as their own happiness? Is it? And that's a really important question. And you have to think about that. Well, you have to tell me that you're certain that satisfying your own curiosity, and of course I understand there's more to it than that. There is a natural, strong love that you have, but you have to ask yourself whether the satisfaction of that curiosity and the material love that you can give with a hug or a kiss, right? You have to decide, and you have to be certain that that amounts to as much as whatever contentment that child may have at the moment.
yes, but look at it this way, Tommy. When those children get into their teens and they find out that they had, if we're still around, grandparents. They had grandparents and their parents denied them. Those children are going to be devastated.
Well, not necessarily. You hope so, but I have to say to you, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Not of grandparentage. Grandparents are wonderful.
Well, if grandparents are part of the child's growing up, Tommy.
No, they're not.
Oh, Tommy.
No.
Doesn't your children see their grandparents then?
Can you...
Uh,
Well, you see, you've done it.
Yeah, I know, because...
No, you
know,
mustn't. I said to you earlier
all
on...
right, you mustn't. That's
No,
fine.
you're not paying attention. I said to you earlier on, I always find it very debasing when it becomes, what if it was your children?
Well, yeah.
And that, I think, is debasing. That's first of all, that's cruel to bring my children into
Okay,
it.
that's very
My children are listening to this.
Are they?
Their granddad died 2 weeks ago. How do you feel?
Yes. So sorry.
Well, you see,
Yeah.
you've made
Well, I
them...
didn't know that.
Oh, so why didn't you leave it out, which is what I suggested you do? So you have to be careful if you call, because you might go looking for something that you think is going to make the world a better place, and all you end up with is a load of broken crockery.
Well, as I said, Tommy, there's a 60,000 grandparents apply to the courts every year for a contact order to see their grandchildren.
Yeah, just say goodnight, Jack, will you, as my boy who's listening? Can you just do that?
Who, me?
Yeah?
Well, would you let me put a phone number out to your listeners?
Definitely not,
No.
I'm afraid. Can't do that under any circumstances.
Okay, then.
So, and we've got to wind up. So,
Okay, thank
there's-
you.
No,
Bye.
just say goodnight to Jack, would you, as my boy who's
Oh,
listening?
it's good night, Jack.
Yeah, nice one.
Bye.
Oh, 8700 40 50 60. Line 1 and see who's there. Good evening, Line 1. You're live on Talksport.
Tommy.
Hey.
Is your wife enjoyable, exciting, and pleasurable? Aye.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. During our 12 years, the relationship has cost me more and more in batteries. Line 2, you're live on Talksport. Who's this?
Hello, Tommy. This is Jonathan.
Hello, Jonathan.
Hello. So, if someone has actually spotted a car or a crime taking place, then I think the memory could be changed.
Are you a worrier?
Not at all. Are you? Are you worried about me, Tommy?
I think you're a bit of a worry bucket, aren't you?
I'm a bit of a bucket, but I don't know about the worry part.
I think you are a bit of a worry bucket.
Why?
Well, because you've used the word quite a bit,
Oh.
and you said that what worried you...
Oh, I think perhaps maybe I might be worried about the
yeah,
techniques
yeah.
used in...
Yeah, you're a bit of a worry bucket. Why did you have regression in the first place?
for fun.
Fun?
Fun, yes.
And was it fun?
It was great fun, yes.
So why do you end up having worries about it?
I've got no worries about it. I'm a very happy-go-lucky person, Tommy.
Well, I'll just pin you down on what you said, which was that
Oh,
what,
that
worried,
hurt.
you said, what worried me about it was...
Well, what worried about it was...
so you do
again,
have worries about it?
only worries for other people.
Yeah.
Having had the experience myself.
Oh, you're somebody who... It's not you, it's everybody else you're worried about.
Well, I'm only worried about the accuracy of things, Tommy.
yes.
A bit like yourself.
No, not a bit like myself at all.
Tiny bit like yourself.
Not in the slightest bit like myself. How would you know?
I don't know you at all.
No, but we do know that you've got your worries.
You're a damn good broadcaster, Tommy, and
Far and away the best this country has ever known.
you
Possibly the
certainly
world
are,
has ever known.
and I'm so privileged to get through to you.
You are.
I am.
I know. But listen, can I give you one bit of advice? It's
Please do.
Australian. No worries. No worries. No worries. Because do you have any idea how irrelevant your life and your thoughts and your views are? You're going to die,
Yes.
and you're one of 4 billion people on this planet.
I know.
And not one of them is going to be remembered in 100 years' time.
I am a mere speck, Tommy.
So go out, do it, whatever it is, with a smile on your face.
Oh, I do, Tommy,
do
I
not
do.
worry about anything. Just don't hurt anybody
I
else.
don't worry, and I don't hurt anybody else. And
I
I
don't believe you, but I believe that if you live long enough, you might get close.
Anyway, God bless you. Great show.
Celebrity pub fighting, I would like that. In a car park, behind the Coach and Horses, 2 o'clock in the morning, lit by Range Rover headlights, I would go up against Timmy Mallet any time. I'd love it.
Well, why isn't there boxing in pubs anyway, like, between members of the public?
I'd go. If you're allowed to strip, and they have stripping in pubs, then why not have
I
controlled
wouldn't mind
boxing?
having a couple
Oh,
of...
I've got something else to say.
Go on, then. I was waiting.
I've got a tip for you.
Oh, go on.
Audley Harrison to win Olympic gold.
We know about him, and he will. But there is another Cuban who he has to watch out for, whose name's just walked out of my head. But if anybody is going to really give Audley a run for his money in the super heavyweight division at Sydney, it's going to be another Cuban, I can promise you. Okay, thanks for that. Nice one. No, I'd love to.
Should have done a level check before, really.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I've just finished my lyrics.
You don't, Ash.
Well, no, I'm a professional. I know how to do it like that.
It's true enough.
Here we go. You know me, I'm the same OG with a wife and a kid, no lunch to bed. I haven't got much money. My lads and my wife, I'd like to call honey. My house is very small. You can't afford to be told you bump your head off the bed. I simply have an incredibly nasty fall. Yeah, my life is pretty simple. I've got no money, just a great big pimple. I can't find no cure for it. It's stuck on me face, my 2 chinks in my... Oh, make fun of me. Say like I'm really ugly. The fact is that I had a hard life. My parents were always cruel to me. They used to call me stupid, thick, a moron, a man without a brain. But the real truth is that I'm really thick, and they didn't give me a name, so I'm just called G, a simple G, an Irish boarding complex G with nothing to offer life, just a pimple that everyone can see. So that's me, I'm G, down the pub, I like to be called Ali. Instead, I'm always laughed at, because I got a pimple on my nose, and it's real ugly. I went to see the doctor, he said he was a proctor, then he couldn't do a thing for me, and so instead he laughed at me. Nowadays, everybody's got a pimple on the nose, but nothing comes out when he squeezed it hard, just a load of blood and lard. Oh, well, I'm an Irish rapper. Nowadays, everybody's got a pimple on the nose, but nothing comes out when he squeezed it hard, just a load of blood and lard. Oh, well, I'm an Irish rapper.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
You'd have made a lot of money if you'd been black.
Yeah, well, there you go.
But you're not, are you?
No.
And it shows.
Sorry about that.
It was great.
Very sorry.
Do it again sometime. Now look, here comes Russell Grant. Naked, but for a holy Bible across his loins. Reciting the soliloquy from Henry IV, Part 1.
Obey!
Now I'm thinking,
Where is Art Thou?
that's it. Isn't radio powerful? So many pictures. And look, now, Jimmy Hill conducting a lay marriage between Gloria Gaynor on the left and Tony Blair on the right. Isn't radio powerful?
That's John Prescott on the mic.
Kill it, the saxophonist on drugs. Is that a sax or a sax?
Yeah, I think so.
Hang on, here come the guys themselves to kill it. Here they come. Oh, they don't. They're going for it. Okay, I don't mind. When he's chatting away with callers, with myself, with James Well, and that is the future of broadcasting. That's the future of humanity, really. The more open we are, and the more normal we are, the more honest we are, and the more we talk to each other about how we really feel and how we really think and what we really believe, and stop expressing the things that we think we ought to express, because it's either what's expected of us or it will carry more status if we express those things. The more we are like that, the better the future will be. And if there's one small thing that's worth doing during our all too brief time on Earth, it's making a tiny contribution, because you can't make a big one, but a tiny contribution to the improvement of everything. And I think that's just... There's no great secret that you don't have to discover E equals MC squared to make a contribution to the future. You just have to be as open as you can. And that means just being who you are. And what was it Chogyam Trungpa said? The greatest act of courage, listen to this is good. The greatest act of courage in a man, or woman, of course, is not to be afraid of who you really are. 08700 40 50 60. Let's take some more. Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Cheers.
Keep away from those nutters out there.
Oh, I don't know. We're all drawn to the zoo, aren't we? And we all go first to the cage with the fiercest animal. Have you noticed? I mean, who goes to the zoo to look at the zebra? Or the peacock, for God's sake? You go to the zoo to look at the animal that eats other animals alive. You do. I mean, I'm the same. There's a dozen television screens in my range of vision at the moment in this studio. There's sport on some of them. There's some interminable hospital drama on another one. But my eye keeps going to one where they're showing some Elizabethan drama where every 10 minutes somebody is being hideously tortured. And so for some reason my eye is... I don't want it. I keep trying to get it off because it's going to give me nightmares. And yet you can't control yourself. You can't control your own instincts and your own thoughts. And so I get drawn to the nutters. You like the nutters, don't you? Listening, you do. You hope that one day they're really gonna sort of storm the Bastille. Line 3, you're live on Talksport. Good evening.
Hi, Tommy. It's
Hello.
Gavin from Inverness.
Hi, Gavin.
And I love the way you do it.
we do need more positive, affirming, uplifting thought patterns.
It's a lot of things stem from that, isn't it?
It's so easy for us all to be negative. There was a piece in one of the colour supplements which I was reading today. I think it's the Observer. There's a column by a guy whose name I've forgotten, but he goes by the moniker of the Barefoot Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
He actually lectures in Taoism and Tai Chi. You know,
I've met the guy.
Have you really? Have you?
We had him in once. Yeah,
Did you?
Yeah, lives in London. Barefoot Doctor. Yeah, that's what he calls himself.
Yeah,
that's his name.
And his article today was about being positive and how to do it, and it was a sober. It wasn't an American, Californian.
No, that's it. It wasn't over the top. But...
No, it was just a gentle thing in which he was saying, that you should, wherever possible, find yourself nodding.
Mm-hmm.
That's why President Kennedy, had a rocking chair in the Oval Office in the White House.
Mm-hmm.
And if a senator or a foreign politician who he was at loggerheads with came to visit him, Kennedy would sit him down in the rocking chair and then sit opposite him and they'd start talking. Because Kennedy knew that the more this guy was in the rocking chair, where you go backwards and forwards, the more likely he was to start nodding whilst Kennedy was talking. And Kennedy knew that the more he nodded, the more he'd end up agreeing with Kennedy. Just a simple act of getting people to go, yeah, oh yeah, right? So the Barefoot Doctor today was saying we need to be nodding more, and we need to be saying the most wonderful word on planet Earth, which is yes. To see
Timmy Mallet go 12 rounds with Lennox Lewis.
I would pay £500 to see Mallet go in the ring for 3 rounds with not Lennox Lewis, because he's a nice guy. I'd put the Mallet up against someone like Tyson.
Yes.
Nothing would be good.
Or Charles Bronson.
Bone Crusher Smith, or...
Bone Crusher Smith, yeah, any of those. Joe Bugner even.
Yeah, it conjures up a frightening thought.
Give Joe Bugner the lure that if he knocks the guy into row C, we'll cure his Hungarian accent once and for all for him. Give him therapy on it. Joe Bugner. What happened to him? He's Australian now, is
He's
he?
still boxing, about 70.
He is. He holds, he holds, it's not very recognised, but he does hold some world title of sorts.
I'll tell you something.
Now, that is quite a difference, because you're out of your 20s.
Yeah. Believe me, it gets better.
Yeah.
And what gets better is that you only care about things that really are worth caring about, and you actually genuinely don't care about somebody trying to upset you. You really don't. There are things that upset you, but you realise that there are things you can do something about. And so if you get upset and you can do something about it, then you try and do something about it. But you also realise your limitations. And that little bit of wisdom that you get more than makes up for the fact that you sometimes nod off in the armchair. Well, actually, I don't nod off in the armchair yet, but you know what I mean.
Oh, I do.
I passed on five-a-side football yesterday morning.
I fell asleep during England-France.
Did you?
I missed
Did
the second half.
Did you nod off?
Yeah.
Or was that because you'd been
No,
to a
I've
local?
No.
No, just
sort of.
at the time you put your head in the photocopier from Steve. Yes, it was. I was working at ITV, and there was a very small office party went on, but they'd ordered a crate of champagne, and there were only about 8 people turned up. So I'd had 2 bottles, and somebody came back with a picture of their bottom, not even naked, but they'd photocopied. And because I'd had 2 bottles of champagne, I decided to top it. So I went and put my face on the photocopier and pressed the button.
Did you shut your eyes?
Yes, I shut my eyes. And I got an image which I kept for some while because I was so frightened of what I'd done, because everybody went, oh no, you're going to die. Because of the gamma. And also because you'll be blinded. Because people are like that. Everybody goes to the worst case scenario, you know.
Is that true? What's that gamma? What is it?
I don't know what it is. I wish I hadn't done it. But that was 10 years ago, and I can still see reasonably well, and I'm alive just. I haven't got, head cancer or anything, as far as I know. Nose cancer. What I would say is don't do it. Don't do it. As far as I know, I'm the only person who's done it, and I'm vaguely proud of that in a sort of I once climbed Ben Nevis naked way, but,
You get a much better resolution on one of those scanners.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yes, you do, but still you get a light, don't you?
I don't know, do you?
You
must
do,
be.
on a
I
scanner.
don't know,
You can photocopy your hand.
Yeah.
And that's good. The more you don't.
Well, can you take the political analogy?
No.
That if you're a Liberal Democrat voter, that you know you're not going to win the next general election, but you still vote Liberal Democrat because...
Entirely different thing.
It's not an entirely different thing.
You do not vote for the party that you think are going to win the election. You vote for the party you want to win the election.
Exactly, so you support the team that you want to support.
Yes.
And in that case, it can come down to, as opposed to political beliefs and political loyalties, it can come down to...
All right, okay, fine. Let's have the political analogy then. Have you just agreed that that West Ham United are about as likely to win anything as the Liberal Democrats?
I would say that West Ham United this season will be top 6 at best.
That is that they are not.
Last season, I think they won
No. Petal. Back up. Political
They're
analogy.
used to winning things.
Back up. When did the Liberal Democrats last win anything?
The Liberal Democrats they weren't called the Liberal Democrats then, were they?
Okay, so is it a reasonable analogy?
Well, but there are enough people that support the Liberal Democrats.
Yes, but are the Liberal Democrats...
4 years.
Are the Liberal Democrats going to win anything?
No.
No. And so you're saying that nor are West Ham?
I'm saying that West Ham have more chance than the Liberal Democrats, and yet the Liberal...
In that case, then, it doesn't work as an analogy.
But it's along the same lines, isn't it?
No, along the same lines doesn't work. You can't say that I'm going to...
It's a loyalty.
You can't... No, Petal, look, come on. Look, what you're saying is that you agree that the West Ham will never win anything.
No, I didn't say West Ham will never win anything. I said the Liberal Democrats won't.
Well, in that case, then, you can't have it as an analogy.
OK, then, so West Ham won the Intertoto last year.
Well, who cares?
Well, that's true, actually. But the other side of it is that it's down to... your geographical loyalty. See, I've supported West Ham for getting on for 35 years now because of where I was brought up, where I was born.
Yes,
and I have won things while I've been supporting them.
But they're not going to anymore.
So do I stop supporting them and start supporting my other local team, which would obviously be Manchester United if I lived in Basingstoke or wherever? Because this is what's happening now. People are just...
What I'm saying is
People are
this.
supporting
No.
Manchester
Yeah.
United because they're winning everything, because no other team can win anything.
Oh, there's nothing
So
wrong with that.
everybody ends up supporting Manchester United.
You can't say there's anything wrong with that. You have no moral
I'm not saying there's anything wrong in supporting Manchester United.
The
But You're
team.
saying there's something wrong in supporting West Ham United.
No, I didn't say there's anything wrong in supporting West Ham United.
You said it's a waste of time.
No, I didn't say that.
It's a futile gesture, isn't it?
I didn't say that.
So what exactly did you say then?
I said, what's the point?
Well, the point is it's showing a loyalty, isn't it?
Well-
Geographical in my case, and in the case of my 4-year-old son, it's a family loyalty
Look.
as opposed to geographical. But as long as
Football, listen, let me explain something to you that you
Right.
may know or you may not know.
No.
Football is a hobby. It's no more than that.
At park level, it's a hobby.
It's a
But
pastime.
at Premier League level, it's a business.
But
And business thrives on the support.
No, I mean, I'm talking about you. It's not your...
Don't forget to subscribe and like. Comment too if you wish. Even slap your legs and make a purchase from Ann Summers. But don't do nothing.